It's late at night, the house is quiet, the lights are off, and you finally settle into bed. Then your dog walks over, circles once, lets out that tiny sigh, and places his head directly on you. Maybe it's your leg, maybe your chest, maybe right on your stomach, as if your body was designed to be his personal pillow. You shift a little, hoping he'll move. He doesn't. Instead, he gets even more comfortable. And while you might think he's simply looking for warmth, the real reason is much deeper. When your dog rests his head on you, his brain may be making a decision based on safety, attachment, trust, scent, and thousands of years of evolution. That simple movement can reveal something powerful about the way your dog sees you. And the reason behind it may completely change the way you look at those quiet moments. Your dog experiences the world through information you barely notice. Your smell, your voice, your breathing, your movements, even the rhythm of your body can become familiar signals of safety. Research into dog-human attachment, including work from Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest, has shown that dogs can form attachment patterns remarkably similar to the bonds human children develop with their caregivers. When your dog seeks you when uncertain, becomes distressed when separated, and relaxes when you return, those behaviors point toward a secure attachment relationship. So when your dog walks across the room and chooses your body as the place to rest his head, he may not simply be asking for attention. He may be communicating something much simpler and much more emotional. Being close to you feels safe. And notice what happens when you respond. You touch his head. You scratch behind his ears. He closes his eyes. His muscles soften. His breathing slows. That interaction can become a quiet biological feedback loop. Physical contact and positive social interaction are associated with changes in oxytocin, a hormone involved in bonding and social connection in both dogs and humans. Studies involving dogs and their owners have even found that mutual gazing can strengthen this oxytocin-related bond. Your dog looks at you, you respond, and the interaction reinforces the feeling of connection. This doesn't mean your dog is consciously thinking about hormones or calculating where to place his head. His brain simply learns through thousands of repeated experiences that you mean comfort. And once that association becomes strong enough, your presence itself can become a kind of emotional shelter. There is another clue hidden in the behavior. Watch what happens when your dog rests his head on you and you suddenly get up. His eyes may open immediately. His ears may move. Sometimes he follows you before you have even taken a second step. That reaction is part of the same attachment system. Your dog doesn't just recognize you as the person who provides food. He recognizes you as a predictable social partner. Your scent is familiar. Your voice is familiar. Your movements are familiar. Even your daily routine becomes part of his internal map of the world. So when your dog presses his head against you, he's not only getting physical contact, he's surrounding himself with signals his brain already understands. Now think about what that means from your dog's perspective. A strange environment contains uncertainty, new sounds, new smells, unknown people. But you are different. Your dog has spent countless hours learning you. He knows the sound of your footsteps. He may know the sound of your keys before you even enter the room. He can recognize your voice, your scent, and probably the routine that tells him when you're about to leave. Your presence reduces uncertainty, and when your dog chooses to rest against you while his guard is down, that choice becomes even more meaningful. Sleeping and deep relaxation are vulnerable states for any animal. Your dog doesn't need to understand the concept of trust the way you do. His nervous system expresses it for him. That connection has an ancient history. Thousands of years before modern dog beds, leashes, and squeaky toys, early humans and wolf-like animals were already sharing the same landscapes. Some animals remained near human settlements because there were opportunities for food. Humans may have tolerated the least fearful animals, while those animals gradually became more comfortable around people. Across generations, Selection favored animals that could live alongside humans. Over an enormous stretch of time, the relationship changed both sides. The animal that once watched humans from the edge of a fire eventually became the animal sleeping beside them. And this is where your dog's behavior becomes even more meaningful. Modern dogs aren't simply wolves that happen to live in your house. Their social behavior has been shaped by domestication. Research into canine genetics has identified changes associated with sociability and human-directed behavior, helping explain why dogs are unusually capable of forming strong relationships with people. Your dog's desire to stay close to you isn't an accident of modern pet ownership. It is connected to a much older biological story in which proximity to humans became valuable. The dog resting his head against your body may look like an ordinary household moment, but underneath it is a behavior carrying echoes of thousands of years. There is also something you can learn by paying attention to exactly when your dog does it. If your dog rests his head on you after a stressful sound, during a thunderstorm, when visitors arrive, or when the house becomes unusually quiet, he may be using you as a source of reassurance. But if he does it every night when you're relaxing, it may simply be part of his bonding routine. Dogs repeat behaviors that produce rewarding emotional outcomes. If resting against you consistently leads to gentle touch, warmth, calm breathing, and your familiar presence, your dog learns that this position feels good. Eventually, the behavior becomes almost automatic. His head finds your body before you even realize he's there. But there's one detail you should never ignore. If your dog suddenly changes the way he rests, that change can sometimes tell you something important about his physical or emotional condition. A dog who normally jumps onto the bed but suddenly refuses may be experiencing pain. Arthritis, joint problems, muscle discomfort, or another physical issue can make jumping or climbing difficult. Sometimes the first clue isn't a dramatic limp. It's a tiny change in behavior. Your dog stops climbing. He becomes slower getting up. He chooses the floor instead of the couch. He sleeps differently. What looks like a preference can sometimes be a message. Age can also change the way your dog interacts with you. As dogs grow older, some develop canine cognitive dysfunction, a condition associated with changes in memory, sleep patterns, awareness, and behavior. You may notice nighttime restlessness, confusion, unusual vocalization, getting stuck in familiar places, or changes in normal routines. These signs shouldn't automatically be dismissed as simply getting old. If your dog's behavior changes suddenly or progressively, especially if it comes with pain, confusion, appetite changes, or altered sleep, your veterinarian can help determine what is really happening. Sometimes your dog isn't choosing distance. Sometimes his body is making closeness harder than it used to be. And then there's the beautiful part. When your healthy, comfortable dog walks over and gently places his head on you, there may be no emergency, no hidden problem, and no complicated mystery at all. He may simply want you. Out of all the places he could lie, he chose the place that smells like you. Out of all the people in the room, he chose your body as his resting place. And in that quiet moment, your dog may be expressing something that doesn't require words. You are familiar. You are predictable. You are comfort. You are home. So the next time your dog drops his head onto your leg while you're watching television or presses against you when you're lying in bed, don't automatically move him away. Take a second and notice what he's doing. Notice his breathing. Notice whether his muscles are relaxed. Notice the softness in his eyes. Because what looks like a simple request for a head scratch may actually be one of the clearest ways your dog knows how to tell you that he feels safe beside you. And tonight, when your dog comes looking for his favorite place to rest, remember that you're not just giving him a pillow. You're giving him something his brain has learned to value deeply: your presence. Drop a comment below and tell me, does your dog rest his head on your leg, your chest, your lap, or somewhere completely unexpected? And if you think you understand why your dog stares into your eyes, wait until you discover what happens inside both brains during that moment. Because the neuroscience behind your dog's gaze may be even more surprising than the way he chooses to sleep beside you.